One of the nice things about Google Sheets is that you can access it from the browser anywhere on any device. So all you have to do is log into your Google account. I've already logged into my Google account. One of the easiest ways to connect to Sheets to see where the sheets are that you are creating is going over to your Drive. You are logged in. If you go to the Google homepage, you can click the Google Apps icon in the top right-hand corner and select Drive. Or you can directly go to drive.google.com/drive. You can see all of your Drive content within this location. And in order to create a new doc, there are several ways to do that. One of the easiest is to go over to the Drive, select the New button in the top left-hand corner, and then from the drop-down, select Google Sheets. So that's going to open up a brand new Google Sheet, ready to go and ready to start adding in your content, working with the sheet content. So first thing, when you do create the sheets, give your sheet a name. It can be done simply by clicking the default name in the top left-hand corner where you're going to see the Untitled, and then you can give it a meaningful name that's going to show up within your Drive. And I'm going to call it Test 1. The nice thing about Google Sheets is that it automatically saves it to the Drive. So next time you go back to your Google Drive, you're going to see the sheet is created. If you do have a folder open and if you create the sheet, then that sheet will then be created within the folder. One of the benefits of using Sheets is, as well as using Drive, is that it's really easy to place the sheets in certain folders within your Drive. You can create sheets and access sheets directly within your browser. In order to update and add cells and add content to the cells, you simply select the cell, and once you select the cell, you're going to see that it's got this blue highlight, and from there you can add content into the content of your spreadsheet. You can also resize it, so zooming it in, and I am going to make it bigger so that's easier to see. And what you'll notice is that the way that the cells are laid out, the columns will be laid out starting with A, B, C, D, E, and the rows will be numerically incrementing from 1 onwards. So that's how you can identify the cell that you're working at and also select the range that you're working at. So this is going to be important when you are selecting that content within formulas and other formats while you're using your sheets. So if you've got content within B4, then you can go down starting with the column B, and then the content here is going to be what you're going to see. So if you have a value that you want to access in B4, then you'd be able to identify that particular piece of content. So I'm going to add in some more content into the page. And this one now is going to be within D7. So that's going to be the cross where we can select the content from. In order to update the content, you just select the cell. You can either update the content directly within the cell, or you can go to the top bar where also we're going to have the formulas later on in the lessons. And from here, you can select the content and make updates to it. And even if we accidentally close the browser tab, we have it saved here within the Google Drive, and then when we reopen it, it's going to automatically saved the content into the Drive. And that's one of the really nice things about Google Sheets, is the benefit that it does allow you to easily save it within the browser. You can also resize it and change the zoom size of your browser window, and this will also affect the content of the sheet. So there's 2 ways, and this way we're actually updating and we're increasing the size of the tab menu as opposed to increasing just the sheet content within the zoom menu that we had tried earlier. So there are several other ways that you can create sheets, and one of the ways is if you have a sheet open, if you want to create another sheet, you can select under File, and you can either make a copy of the current sheet, or you can select New and selecting a sheet from there. When you are selecting a sheet, you can also select a sheet from the template gallery. So what the template gallery is of preset templates that you can use in order to easily set up your sheet content. So if you did want to do something similar to what the Google Finance investment is, you can select that, and that will open up your sheet already pre-formatted within that template format that we were just looking at. So this is a quick and easy way that you can access your sheet content. So another way to open up Sheets, and within the browser navigation bar, you can type in sheets.new, and once you press enter, that's going to also open up a brand new spreadsheet which is ready to start using. And this is just a brand new spreadsheet. So every time you go to sheets.new, it's going to create a brand new spreadsheet. So another way to open up Sheets is to go into your Google Apps. And from the Google Apps dropdown, once you've logged into your Google account, you can go directly to Sheets. So sometimes you do have to scroll down a little bit because there are quite a few products within Google. So go down and scroll down to Sheets. And once you select Sheets, this is going to open up the main Sheets. So under docs.google.com/spreadsheets, and this is where you can select all of the sheets that you've recently used. It's going to default search it just by Sheets, creating a brand new spreadsheet. So you can create a new spreadsheet by selecting the blank tab. So that once again opens up a new spreadsheet. And also within the docs.google.com/spreadsheets, you can select from the various templates within the template gallery of the sheets. And from here, once again, you can select out the various templates that are available that you can use in order to quickly format your sheets content. And there's always an ever-expanding group of templates. If you are using a company workspace account, then your administrator of the workspace is able to add in default templates directly within the gallery so that you can easily select them for your work environment. Now also, depending on the settings of your organization and your workspace setup, this is also where, if you are within a workspace, you can add and save a template. And this is also dependent on your administrator and how they've set up your Google Workspace. And if you just started working with Sheets, there's always help. So if you do have any questions, they have a really good help menu. So that's going to be the last tab in the navigation at the top of your spreadsheet when you open it up. So they do have a tab for help. So you open that up, and this is going to have a pop-up window where you can search the help for various options. So let's say you want to do a formula, and it will give you the most commonly asked questions about how to add formulas, functions, formula text, add formulas and functions, and so on. So it'll already pre-populate whenever you're searching within the help. There's also training, so if you select that, that's going to bring you to the support.google website, and this is where you can get more in-depth training and information about how to use your spreadsheet. Also under help, so any updates. So this is going to give you a listing of content and what's been updated with Sheets. You can also provide feedback about your Sheets, so help improve it or report any abuse. There's a privacy policy here, terms of service, the function list. So these are all the predefined functions, and we're going to be looking at these in more depth later on in the lessons of the course. And then lastly, under help, there's also the keyboard shortcuts. So these are great once you start becoming more familiar with how Sheets works, and then you can really easily select and navigate with your Sheets content by using the keyboard shortcuts. There's also the typical ones that you are probably already familiar with, where we've got the cut, the paste, copy, select all, and these are typical ones that are commonly used within most applications. And as you can see, there are a lot of different shortcuts. And of course, with shortcuts, it does take some time to get familiar and comfortable with using shortcuts. And we are going to be covering this as well in the upcoming lessons.